So you want to buy your kid a video game, or probably more realistically, your kid wants you to buy them a video game, but you're not sure if it is appropriate for them when it comes to the content that is in the game. And if you're not familiar with video games, this can be kind of a daunting question to answer. You don't want to be too strict and have your kid only playing baby games, but at the same time, you definitely don't want your 5-year-old playing Mortal Kombat. And so that's why I'm here today, to help you, parents who are not familiar with the world of video games, be able to get a footing when it comes to deciding whether or not a video game is appropriate for your kid. We're not able to just answer this question 100% for everybody on every game. Why? Because different people are more concerned about different things in games. And so what I want to do today is give you 3 different tools that you can use to make sure that you are aware of what kind of games your kids are playing and what's in them, so that we can make sure that the content that your kids are consuming is appropriate for their maturity level. The first and simplest thing that all parents should know when it comes to buying games for kids is the fact that, just like movies, video games have a rating system. The ESRB, or Entertainment Software Rating Board, is responsible for the ratings of games that come out commercially in the United States. And so if a game is coming out on a console, and for most games that come out on PC, they will have a rating that has been given to them by this board. And their ratings really work similarly to those that you find at the movie theater. You have E for everyone, which means that it's appropriate for no matter who it is that you might be buying the game for. There are games that are rated E10+, and this means that a video game is still appropriate for pretty much everybody, but if your kid is under 10, you might want to be a little more cautious as to whether or not they should be playing it. Then we move to games that are rated T for teen, and this is just like PG-13, designed to let us know that people who are under 13, this might not be appropriate for them. And then we have mature, which is the same as an R rating. 17 and above is good to go on these. There are 2 other ratings that the ESRB does hand out, just to let you be aware of them. First is AO, which is adult only. And with that rating, they're saying anyone under 18 should definitely not be playing this game. And the thing about adult only games is you really don't have to worry about just kind of stumbling upon them. All physical retailers like Walmart or Target or GameStop do not carry adult only games. And then the last rating to be aware of is RP, which stands for rating pending. You'll see this on advertisements for games, and it just lets you know that they have not officially rated the game yet. Now, when giving its ratings, the ESRB takes pretty much everything into consideration. The amount of violence, the type of violence. They separate fantasy and strong and bloody violence from each other, saying that the action that you will find in a Mario game is different than the action you will find in, say, Uncharted or a Resident Evil. They also have different classifications when it comes to language that you can find in games, and you can find all this information on the back of the box or on the digital storefront that you are purchasing the game on. Another thing to remember when it comes to the ratings of the ESRB is they let you know what kind of online content the game has. It's important to remember this because we don't always know what people are going to say or make and share online, so we have to be cautious about that. The ESRB does a good job of giving us kind of a ballpark idea of what games are appropriate for what age, but that doesn't mean that your household has to fall into those different ideas. The second tool that you can use to help you determine if a game is appropriate for your kid or not is YouTube, where you are right now. Any game that is out there, if you search it on YouTube, you can find pretty much people playing the whole game. Unlike, say, a football game or a movie, video game creators don't care if you're playing their game online. In fact, they know that it is good marketing for their game. If the game is good and looks fun when people are playing it, other people will want to buy it. And it's actually a huge part of what is on YouTube. In fact, if your kid is bugging you about wanting to buy or play a game, most likely they saw somebody playing it online. There's a lot of things you can look for. You can look at marketing, the trailers of the games. This will usually give you a really good idea of the tone and what the game is trying to sell itself as. There's a lot of games you can quickly see are inappropriate for a 10-year-old, just solely based on how they're trying to sell themselves. But if that isn't quite enough information for you, you can look up whole playthroughs of games on YouTube as well. These are usually really long videos. You can find videos 11 hours or longer, just someone playing through a whole game. And if you want to get a real idea of what your kid will be experiencing in a game, click on one of those videos, scroll to the middle of it, and see what's happening. And then the last tool that I want to share with you when it comes to deciding whether or not a game is appropriate for your kid is websites like Common Sense Media and imdb.com, which is the Internet Movie Database. And I mention both of these websites because they both have sections, or in the case of Common Sense Media, are completely devoted to the idea of parents sharing the content that is in the game. They'll give you a really good breakdown of the kind of language that you can expect, the situations that players might find themselves in, as well as sometimes even giving you a heads up on like the difficulty of what the gameplay could bring for your kid. Your kids getting into video games when you know nothing about it can be a really scary thing. There's a lot of stuff out there. You can hear a lot of scary things in the news about video games, but there are a lot of fun opportunities for your kids and for you to be able to spend time having fun together. And if you use these three tools, the ESRB, YouTube, or websites like Common Sense Media or IMDb, you will have what you need to help find games that are appropriate for your kids. And if you have any questions about a specific game, feel free to drop a comment down below, and I will be happy to talk to you down there, or maybe even create a video about it. If this video has been helpful for you at all, it'd be awesome if you could give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm really wanting to bring this kind of stuff to parents who might not know about it as much. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you next time with our next video. See ya.